This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Wednesday, May 20th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
I have to say that if it wasn't for the doctors and the nurses and, of course, God, I wouldn't be here.
A COVID-19 survivor is sharing her story. This morning, she tells us what it was like to have the virus and her path to recovery.
We always adapt. We're able to keep the business going, and we'll just adapt again.
As the Circle City inches towards normalcy, restaurants are preparing for the next phase. How the city's plan will impact your plans to eat out and your commute.
No one cared about people-to-people interactions before March, right?
Plus, using technology to track the coronavirus, I'll show you how an Indy-based company plans to make sure Hoosiers are practicing social distancing at work. All right, 6 o'clock here on our Wednesday. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. My colleagues Todd Clausen and Rafael Sanchez, social distancing and working from home again today. Guys, good morning to you. Rafael, thanks for joining us from Johnson County.
Lauren, good morning. Not much sunshine today, but a bright spot in our day every day is our Todd Clausen, who has an okay forecast today. Hey, Todd, good morning.
Hey, Rafael, good morning, too. Yeah, it could always be worse. You know, we saw a lot of rainfall here the past few days, and today we're kind of taking that out of the equation. Unfortunately, we can't take all the clouds out of the equation and get into the sunshine, but there is some improvement in our forecast. A live look outside right now, and you can see the clouds are firmly in place this morning. If there is an opportunity for a little bit of rainfall today, it is going to be this morning, and it's going to be mainly in eastern locations. You notice the temperatures range from 49 in Richmond, where the clouds are really thick, to 58 in Terre Haute, where the clouds thin a little bit as you work your way westward. As far as showers go, eastern locations here, Richmond, down towards Greensburg, North Vernon, up towards the Seymour area. You'll have the opportunity of a few sprinkles. You notice as those showers are moving in, they're basically falling apart and weakening, but still rotating around that area of low pressure that's been, such a slow mover down to our south. So as you plan your day out, we'll plan on more clouds than sunshine, but the sky should brighten just a little bit at times this afternoon, with high temperatures eventually topping off in the low 60s. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're heading out to work on this Wednesday. Here's a look south of downtown at I-65, a view near Keystone Avenue, an area of ongoing construction. You'll probably remember we've had this major lane shift. You can see it there on your screen as the northbound traffic shifts over to the southbound side and then back to the northbound side. So two pretty big curves there. You'll need to watch out for. The lanes are pretty skinny as well, so you'll need to pay attention, stay in your lane, take it slow as you head through that spot. Southbound traffic is restricted, as you can see here, down to just those two lanes. The exit ramps remain open, so just use caution again if you're traveling here on the near south side. Rafael?
The time now is 6:03 here on Good Morning Indiana. The number of new COVID-19 cases is down for a third day, but the number of deaths reported to the state is up. The State Department of Health reports 57 new deaths from COVID-19. Some of those newly reported deaths date back, though, to mid-April. Now, since the pandemic began, more than 1,600 Hoosiers have died from the virus. The state also confirms 481 new cases of COVID-19. So far, 28,705 people in our state have been diagnosed with COVID-19. Now, here's a broad picture of what we're talking about. Here's a look at the last 6 days of newly confirmed COVID-19 cases in our state. The 481 new cases reported on Tuesday is the lowest number out of these 6 days. Saturday saw the most new cases at 656. The number of new coronavirus cases has declined for 3 days in a row.
Oh, well, Rafael, this morning, the AARP Indiana is urging the state to release more specifics on where those nursing home residents are dying from COVID-19 and where the outbreaks are happening. The group's push for more information comes after Call 6 Investigates raised some concerns about Indiana's lack of transparency. The state has released the total number of people who've died in long-term care facilities, but they will not release a breakdown of the nursing home deaths and the cases by facility, even though many other states are. AARP represents more than 800,000 members and says releasing the information would better protect our most vulnerable Hoosiers.
Communities want to know what's happening where they live, and it can be helpful in determining what might be going on in a community that we don't know about.
We reached out to the governor's office and the State Department of Health, and they responded that they will continue to provide statewide totals and require nursing homes to share information with families. As Call 6 Investigates reported, the federal government plans to publish the data at the end of the month. Now, around the world, Raphael, more than 1.6 million people have recovered from COVID-19.
This is definitely something to cheer about, and that includes a Central Indiana woman who is back home this morning for the first time in months. Take a look. As you can imagine, there were cheers and there were tears as 47-year-old Arlonda Johnson Dickerson left Seton St. Vincent Hospital on Tuesday. She was in the hospital for nearly 2 months and spent 35 days on a ventilator battling the coronavirus. Arlonda is grateful for the nurses and doctors who saved her life. Those doctors and nurses say seeing patients like her recover keeps them going.
If it wasn't for the doctors and the nurses and, of course, God, I wouldn't be here. They were amazing. I had a particular nurse, Stephanie, who was very encouraging. When I was feeling down and feeling bad, she was always encouraging and telling me that I was doing good and that I had got further than a lot of people.
It's rewarding. It's what makes our job worthwhile, and reminds us every day that that's why we get up and come to work and do what we do here.
I have my good days and I have my bad days. Some days I ride home and I'd be in tears, but knowing that I'm here and I'm taking care of them, that is a reward for me in itself, that I'm able to help a patient become better.
So this morning, we also cheer on all those health professionals and Ms. Dickerson, all the best to you. Now, since family members are not allowed to visit COVID-19 patients, the nurses helped Arlonda communicate with her loved ones with an iPad. The time now is 6:07. The largest convention in Indianapolis is saying not this year. Gen Con brings nearly 70,000 visitors to the Circle City each year. But Gen Con officials say they can't host a gathering while potentially threatening the health of others. Anybody who bought tickets can either roll it over to 2021 or they can request a refund. Gen Con is scheduled to return to Indianapolis in August of next year. The conference is scheduled to be hosted here in Indianapolis all the way through the year 2023. Mayor Joe Hogsett announced Tuesday that several streets around the Indianapolis area will close to allow restaurants to add outdoor seating.
Yeah, and our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live downtown this morning. She's along Mass Ave, and that's one of the streets that's going to close to vehicular traffic. Alyssa, what can you tell us about this plan?
Yeah, so they're going to start some of these closures tomorrow just to prepare, and then they are going to have the rest of the street closed by Friday so you can come eat at some of your favorite restaurants. The closure is going to start here at the corner of New York and Delaware, and it's going to go all the way down to College Avenue. So it's going to be this entire stretch of traffic here on Mass Ave. And we spoke with the manager of Basbo, which is right on the corner of Mass Avenue and New York. He says their business has been doing quite well during the stay-at-home order. Nonstop carry-out and delivery orders, helping keep their staff employed and busy. They'll have to make some changes with the street closures, but like all the restaurants along Mass, they'll be able to expand their outdoor seating and serve more customers. The manager does hope city leaders do a little homework to learn what brings customers to each business.
Every business is different. I think they need to come to Mass Ave and talk to the owners, talk to the people who work here. But we're making this work.
And parking spaces will, of course, be eliminated in this area, but we're told there are more than 300 spots that are just about a 2-minute walk from most of these restaurants here. And we should tell you that part of Broad Ripple streets are also going to be closed, so those restaurants can expand into the streets. Part of Georgia Street will also be closed, and also part of Monument Circle. So all of these closures are expected to be in place until July 4th. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Well, Indiana has started to relax some of the stay-at-home restrictions, but while all the restaurants that were closed, some others were able to take those meals on wheels. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us this morning with more.
Well, if you aren't hungry right now, you will be after this. Imagine big bagels, barbecue, bacon, pizza, and more, all just within walking distance of your house. That's the new trend as food trucks are traveling to neighborhoods across central Indiana. I spoke with 4 different food truck owners, and they all say right now their business is thriving thanks to the community and getting out into the neighborhoods.
We're embracing the new normal. This is a good thing for food trucks because it gives us a lot more exposure than the people just having to come to us in a specific at a specific location. We can go travel to them now.
They say they hope the trend continues at least once a week or even once a month when restaurants start opening back up. But they all say they're thankful to have neighborhoods booking through most of the summer. To have a food truck come to your neighborhood, all you have to do is reach out to them on Facebook and see when they're available. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you so much. The time now is 6:10. The hero signs are now in the window. Here's an update on that family forced to pull their signs from the front of their Indianapolis home. The HOA is now saying that Damon and Tina Turnmeyer can put the sign in their upstairs window, as you can see, to display, just not in their yard. Now, the family decided to do that before the HOA chimed in. The Turnmeyers removed the signs last Thursday, which was the deadline to avoid any legal action. Lauren?
Well, Raphael, social distancing is making getting back into the workforce a little more tough. So new at 614, Hiring Hoosiers is looking at one organization working harder than ever to make sure that young adults get jobs. Todd?
And Lauren, it's been a wet stretch of weather, as we all know, here across central Indiana. Some areas over 3 inches of rain, but the grass is growing, especially if you put fertilizer down earlier in the year. So are you good to finally mow that grass? Well, it takes a little while today, I think, to dry out, but you should be good to go by mid-afternoon and into the evening hours. Tomorrow is another dry day, so you can probably do it any day, at any time, rather, throughout the day tomorrow. So all in all, you'll have better conditions to get out there and mow the yard or do some yard work. We'll talk more about your extended forecast and the heat that builds in for the holiday weekend coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues.
Our competitors forced your home. That's who.
The time now is 6:14. Lauren and I welcome you back to Good Morning Indiana. This morning, Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you to the programs helping you to rebound from the setbacks caused by the COVID-19.
And although social distancing has halted their in-person options, Amanda Starantino shows us how Employ Indy is working harder than ever to get young adults transitioning back into the workforce.
Elias Steele is one of many Hoosiers who have found themselves unemployed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. With 3 kids under the age of 4, she reached out to Cafe on the east side for help paying rent and found something more.
During this 4 weeks of me waiting for my unemployment, they have also helped me through the YES program of trying to find another job.
Through virtual tools, Elia's career coach works with her daily to find resources to pay her bills. They've also been exploring certification opportunities to help Elia land a better job.
Within a short period of time, they've actually offered me a lot.
These resources are all in the Employ Indy's ecosystem of organizations targeting Indy's opportunity youth.
Who may have, dropped out of high school, or graduated from high school, but not on a career trajectory.
WRTV has shown you through Hiring Hoosiers how these programs engage young people through in-person one-on-one interaction with classes, basketball, and other workshops. Now, this pandemic has brought a new challenge for Employ Indy.
Amanda has opened up for us another area of development that we need to work with them on, and that is accessing these virtual tools.
Employ Indy is getting creative to keep up its connection with the community it serves.
Whether it's the crime prevention or if it's just a place to talk in the Zoom room, or if we're sending out text blasts to ask them to come and get a food box and connect with your career navigator. We're also preparing to launch a NBA 2K20 virtual online basketball tournament.
Although things look different now, Employ Indy organizers want young Hoosiers to know they are offering support for a wide range of needs, even during this difficult time.
They do have a contact number with someone that they know and trust, would give them sound advice and care about their futures, right? To make sure that they're making good choices and good decisions so that when we come on the other side of this, they're better positioned to continue their goal plan.
Working for you, Amanda Starrentino, RTV6 News.
Amanda, thank you. Employ Indy is also working on sending inspirational messages to their opportunity youth to keep their spirits up and help them stay in the game during this trying time. So for more information on the resources available with Employ Indy, you can check out this story at hiringhoosiers.com. It is time now for a check of our forecast. So for that, let's head over to Todd. Hey, TK.
Hey, Lauren, good morning to you. The past couple days, lots of rainfall. We're kind of losing the rain. That is the good news. But we are left with lots of clouds, though, in our forecast. As far as the rain goes today, it's just a stray shower, and that should be just about it. But there is a lot of improvement in the forecast going forward, and that improvement is both warmer temperatures and more in the way of sunshine. A live look from downtown to the north. You can see the clouds firmly in place here this morning, and these clouds will be in place throughout much of the day. They may break apart at times, especially this afternoon in some western locations, but overall we are looking at a fairly cloudy day. 55 in the city right now. A little warmer actually off to the west where the clouds are just slightly thinner, but in the metro area temperatures are withal in a couple degrees of each other. 53 in Greenfield, 54 in Martinsville, as well as Edinburgh. So there are still some showers trying to sneak into the area, and once again, just like yesterday, they're coming in from east to west, kind of the opposite of what we would normally see on a normal weather pattern where we normally deal with stuff moving from west to east. But as these showers are coming in, you notice they're really just falling apart. So don't be shocked if there's a sprinkle or two in the eastern locations this morning. But overall, we're not expecting any widespread or rain that's going to linger for an extended period of time. The area of low pressure is still down to our south. We still have that counterclockwise flow, and that's why some of these showers are still pinwheeling into the area. Here's how it looks on TrueCast as we quickly go through it hour by hour for you on this Wednesday. Notice the clouds breaking apart a little bit this afternoon in those western locations, so there's hope for some sunshine today, but overall we're going to call it mostly cloudy with temperatures that will be topping off in the low 60s across most of the area. About 62 degrees I think in the city, a little bit warmer off to the west where we get into just a little bit more in the way of sunshine. Tomorrow, still mostly cloudy, a little bit warmer up into the mid-60s, about 65 to 66 degrees. And then Memorial Day weekend, this is what we're waiting for, the warmth. It's going to be a very summer-like weekend. And they always say Memorial Day is the unofficial start to summer, and it's going to feel like it. Not only do we have the heat and some humidity building in with highs in the mid-80s, we're also looking at the chance of some thunderstorms in the forecast. I think they're pretty spotty Saturday and Sunday. As we get into Monday and then eventually Tuesday, they could become a little more numerous across the area.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out maybe to work early this Wednesday. Here's a look south of downtown I-65 at Keystone Avenue, where we continue to monitor that ongoing road construction here at the bridge project. You can see traffic in the northbound lanes shifting over to the southbound side, so take it slow as you head through that traffic shift. We do have southbound lanes restricted as well as they're sharing those lanes. The exit ramps remain open, but just be careful as you merge in and out of traffic here as it's a little bit more confusing. Take it slow. Watch for workers here throughout the day. Raphael?
The time now is 6:20 here on Good Morning Indiana, and leaders with Special Olympics of Indiana say the 2020 Summer Games will be held virtually this year because of COVID-19. As you know, those Summer Games are typically held out in Vigo County in Terre Haute every June. The Special Olympics say the online games will encourage athletes to take part in a number of virtual activities. Videos of the athletes participating will then be shared with the community. Virtual opening and closing ceremonies are also being planned this year. The screams, the squeals will all soon return to your favorite amusement parks. And you at 627, what you should know before the parks reopen and those rides take off.
And calling all new home chefs and bakers out there, have you run into a few roadblocks on your journey to culinary excellence? Yeah, I'd say so. Well, this morning on Good Morning America, we have two words for you, Martha Stewart. She'll be live from her home and answering viewer questions, so stay tuned for that.
That all starts at 7 a.m. right here on RTV6. And did you know nearly 40,000 people in our state are diagnosed with diabetes each year? RTV6 is a proud partner for this year's American Diabetes Association's Indiana Tour de Cure. And this year, it's going virtual on June the 6th. On this day, a good morning to Fishers, Patricksburg, and Whiteland. The time now is 6:22. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 6:24. Raphael, it's time to talk about what is trending at 6.
So there are so many ways to show appreciation, right? Flowers, jewelry, chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree with that? How about this? Let me take you to New York, where a woman collaborated with the New Orleans Jazz Orchestra to put on a stimulus serenade. Right, what's a stimulus serenade? Well, it's for frontline hospital workers and COVID patients in New Orleans. Emily Bauman used her stimulus money to pay for the out-of-work musicians while offering a morale boost to healthcare workers. She's hoping to inspire others to conduct similar concerts and use their stimulus money however they want.
I love that, a little jazzy. All right, well, Tom Moore, you remember this guy. He's the World War II vet who raised millions for Britain's National Health Service to fight COVID-19 by walking laps around his garden. Well, he is going to be knighted for his 100th birthday last month. Queen Elizabeth said that he should be named an honorary colonel. Well, now British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says Colonel Tom will soon become Sir Tom. Very appropriate.
All hail Sir Tom. He deserves it. A shout out this morning to all educators named collectively by the state of Indiana Teacher of the Year for their extraordinary efforts during the pandemic. Today we congratulate Kimberly Rutherford Beard from the Daleville Elementary School. Ms. Beard is retiring this year. We wish her all the very best. And we thank all of our teachers for being hometown heroes. Now let's check your forecast with our very own Todd Clausen.
Yeah, Raphael, we are dealing with quiet conditions today, which is good news after all the rainfall. We're just not dealing with bright conditions, unfortunately, in our forecast here for the day today, as we are going to have lots of clouds around, and with those clouds, temperatures running on the cool side. Highs will only be in the 60s later on this afternoon, and throughout the morning hours as you get going, we're only in the 50s. Highs will depend on where you live today. The further west you are, you have a better opportunity to pick up a little bit of sunshine, and as a result, temperatures will be a little bit warmer, highs in the mid to upper 60s compared to the eastern side of the state where there's more clouds and the chance of a spot shower will be running cooler with highs only right around 59. We'll split the difference here in the metro area with highs in the low to mid 60s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Well, if you are a theme park fan, you may have been heartened by last week's news of Holiday World and Six Flags prepping for their reopening the next month or two. Well, working for you, our John Matarese looks into when Disney and other parks may reopen so you don't waste your money.
The reopening of Disney, Shanghai, and China gives hope to theme park fans everywhere that maybe their favorite theme park will get to open this summer after all.
This video provided by Disney gives a glimpse of what we could soon see at its U.S. theme parks. Face masks, spacing, temperature checks, and other restrictions for guests.
Disney Shanghai, and use that as our window. They closed in January. They're opening today.
Dennis Spiegel is president of International Theme Park Services, who consults parks around the world. Based on the 3.5 months the Chinese park was closed, he guesses many American theme parks will open on July 1st. Another reason for that date, Disney hotels will begin accepting bookings starting July 1st. And Disney Springs, formerly Downtown Disney, will begin a phased reopening May 20th. But it'll be different, Spiegel says.
There's going to be distancing and the queue lines and the restaurants and the merchandise in the shows and on the rides.
So from the dozen that stink filed, the restrictions you'll see if the parks open this year. Spiegel says expect face masks, 6-foot social distancing, appointments for ride times, and seating possibly in every other row. To make that work, he says parks will need to operate at just 1/3 capacity, requiring advance tickets.
Some enthusiasts wonder how you can ride a roller coaster wearing a face mask, but others say they'll do whatever it takes to get back to the parks. As always, don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Metro Police are investigating a hit-and-run crash that left one person dead on Indy's east side. It happened around 10:30 last night at the intersection of 38th Street and Arlington Boulevard. Police have not released any suspect information so far.
In Hamilton County, investigators are also working to identify a driver after a hit-and-run crash killed a pedestrian. The sheriff's office says a truck hit and killed a woman around 4:30 Tuesday afternoon as she walked along Anthony Road near US 31 and East 236th Street. Authorities are looking for a silver or gray Ford F-150 with a tinted rear window, model years between 1997 and 2003.
Well, the former head of the Indianapolis Public Schools Teachers Union is going to prison for theft. Rondalyn Cornett was sentenced to 16 months in federal prison on Tuesday for embezzlement. Prosecutors say Cornett stole more than $154,000 from the union that represents IPS teachers while she was the group's president.
A woman who was well known in Indiana politics for several decades has died. Betty Cockrum served as state budget director under former Governor Frank O'Bannon. She was best known for her 15-year tenure as the president and CEO of Planned Parenthood of Indiana and Kentucky. Her family says she died this past weekend. She was 67 years old.
And here at 6:30, we want to say good morning to you. Thanks for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez, live from the official RTV6 living room as we continue to social distance. And Todd Clausen, as I look outside our official living room window, the sun is trying to rise, but it looks very cloudy out there this morning.
Yeah, well, the sun is definitely coming up, Rafael, but we have lots of clouds out there. You're exactly right. And your view is going to be pretty similar. If you look out there at 10 o'clock this morning, around the noon hour, or even into the afternoon, as these clouds will be present pretty much from start to finish throughout the day. Now, as far as rain chances go, they're really, really low throughout the day today. And really the best bet for them is this morning with a few sprinkles. But you notice 10%, that's really nothing to worry about. And you notice a few of these spot showers if you look really closely here on the far eastern side of the state. There's a couple of them out there, but they're falling apart as they advanced westward into Indiana. Most of the heavy or more significant rainfall is well off to our east in central Ohio. So as we go throughout the day today, just kind of bank on clouds more than any showers. You can carry on with any outdoor plans you have. It's just not going to be the warmest day. Cooler to the east where the clouds are a little thicker. 59 today in Muncie, about 64 in Greenwood as you work your way westward. I do think you get into some sunshine later on this afternoon. With that sunshine, highs eventually climbing up into the mid to upper 60s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic. And this is a busier spot for your commute. It's south of downtown here at I-65 near Keystone Avenue. We have this ongoing road work here. This has been going on for a few weeks now with a major traffic shift in the northbound lanes over to the southbound side. Exit ramps remain open. But again, just take it slow as you head through this area and pay attention as you will have to shift over 2 different times. Right now, no crashes to report around the metro area. Great news for your Wednesday morning commute.
The time now is 6:32. The pandemic led many companies to provide critical services, especially to people with overdue bills. We told you about the struggle of 9-year-old Kamani Russell. She's a 3rd grader unable to connect online to her classroom because her mom has an overdue bill with Spectrum. Spectrum, owned by Charter Communications, told us it could not comment on her case, but that it was helping families all the way through June the 30th here in Indiana. Now, despite that statement, that did not help Kamani. She could not connect to the internet. The family found another option to help their situation with just a few weeks left of school. Her mom says she has a message for the CEO of Charter Communications, Thomas Rutledge. Charter owns Spectrum.
I find it a bit inhumane the way that they're treating families who are needing this internet access in this time of crisis. You know, we're not asking for them to zero out our balance forever. Everybody has hardships in their life, and when it's a global, crisis, then everybody should come together and work together to help each other.
Kamani is thankful for a friend for letting her be connected to her classroom. Now listen, the situation will be somewhat better in the fall for students, especially in the IPS school system. The school system is investing some $3 million to purchase 9,000 MiFi units. Those units will provide the wireless service for those families who can't afford the access to the internet. Lauren?
Well, Raphael, only one day after it reopened to the public, Top Golf up in Fishers is closed once again, and no one is saying why. As we first told you on Monday, Top Golf was reopening its driving range, sports bar, and restaurant with measures to promote social distancing. By Tuesday, though, the venue had been shut down by state excise police. RTV6 reached out to excise police to find out why, but so far we have not heard back. This is the statement we have received, though, from Top Golf spokesperson Cara Berry. She says, quote, "Our decision was guided by the state of Indiana's Phase 2 reopening criteria, which included the reopening of restaurants and golf-related activities. However, questions have since been raised regarding Top Golf's classification under current state reopening guidelines for this phase," end quote. Berry says that Top Golf will reopen as soon as it has the green light from the state. Well, here in Marion County, some streets will be closing to vehicular traffic tomorrow. That way, restaurants in the area will be able to add some more outdoor seating to comply with the guidelines for reopening for Mayor Joe Hogsett. Our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning. She is on Mass Ave. That's one of the streets in the area that will be closed. Alyssa, tell us a little bit more about this.
So as you said, Lauren, the closure starts tomorrow so that these restaurants can get ready, and then by Friday, people can come and eat at some of their favorite restaurants again. The closure here on Mass Ave starts here at the intersection of New York and Delaware. It goes all the way down Mass Avenue and to College Avenue. That's where it stops. So quite a large closure here downtown, but that's so that restaurants like Basbo and the Eagle can spread out their outdoor dining. And we did speak to the manager of Basbo Pizza, which has been doing quite well during the stay-at-home order. He says they have a very loyal customer base that has continued to order pizza for both delivery and carry-out. Their restaurant will have to adjust their carry-out protocol. Right now, cars park out front and staff brings the pizzas right to the cars. Instead, he says they'll probably switch to their other entrance for carry-out on New York Street, noting that these constant adjustments are just the norm for now.
We always adapt. We're able to keep the business going, and we'll just adapt again.
There will also be street closures in Broad Ripple, on Georgia Street downtown, and part of Monument Circle. And the closures will eliminate much of the parking here on Mass Avenue, but we're told there's about 370 parking spots nearby that are just about a 2-minute walk from most of the restaurants in this area. So that's not too bad, not too much of a commute to get to some of your favorite eateries. And this closure is expected to last until July 4th. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
So you just saw Alyssa's report. While restaurants are only beginning to allow dine-in customers, other restaurants have really been doing well because they're on wheels. Our Kelsey Anderson has much more on food trucks and how they're surviving during this pandemic. Kelsey, good morning.
Well, food trucks are thriving right now because they're able to bring the restaurant to you. And it's been a big hit to have food trucks come to neighborhoods across central Indiana. Some food truck owners telling me that they're already booked up throughout the entire summer.
We went from doing 400 or 500 a day during the week at the restaurant, a couple grand on the weekends at the restaurant, to doing $2,000 a day on the truck.
From pizza, barbecue, bacon, bagels, and more, these trucks are visiting neighborhoods across the state.
Their way of going to the water cooler, since they can't go do some of the other normal things that they can do, it's their way of socializing, and we like to be being a part of that.
Still gives everybody a sense of normalcy to go out and, converse with each other.
These guys tell me they normally make their money at big events or parked outside businesses. But with everything closed and canceled, they had to make a change. Now they're making house calls.
We're embracing the new normal. This is a good thing for food trucks because it gives us a lot more exposure than the people just having to come to us in a specific at a specific location. We can go travel to them now.
And they're thankful the neighborhoods are buying in and booking them to come out.
And my schedule's booked out 6 weeks right now.
She put a post out, and I'm not lying. I mean, 24 hours to 48 hours, I probably had 2 months booked up.
This is my last day off in the month of May. I work completely through the end of the month and the first week of June.
But a friendly reminder from your local food truck, they aren't used to serving entire families. So they ask you to be patient while you wait.
We're doing what we can, and we'll keep going. As long as people need us, we'll keep coming to the neighborhoods.
All 4 food truck owners say all you have to do is reach out to them on Facebook to book them to come to your neighborhood. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. When we come back to the office, we're supposed to follow social distancing guidelines. But what exactly does that mean? Next, we take a look at a company that's helping other businesses figure out the boundaries of this new normal. It's 6:39. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Our competitors forced your home. That's who.
The time now is 6:42. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. As our state reopens in phases, we know that businesses across central Indiana are busy putting in safety guidelines for you and their workers to protect them as we move forward, Lauren.
Yeah, and so Raphael, that includes us here at RTV6, and I know you've been working from your home studio for quite some time now, so I want to show you some of the safety measures that we have in place here at our workplace at RTV6. So we're required, obviously, to wear these masks unless I'm sitting here at the desk and live on air. We also have reminders about social distancing all around the building. So here's a look at some of our new traffic patterns on the floors. It's to keep people from crisscrossing in the hallways or gathering here around our desks. It's really interesting to see what businesses and organizations are doing to prevent the spread of COVID-19. As we know, more people are heading back to work. But here's something cool. Technology from one local company may be able to help get our economy back while taking the guesswork out of social distancing.
People to people is new for us, but people to machine and machine to machine proximity detection is nothing new for us.
When Rob Rascosi started advanced industrial manufacturing back in 1998, he had no idea that their technology solutions for manufacturing and material handling could become a hot topic in a global pandemic. The Fishers-based business sells proximity detection products to heavy industrial facilities across North America.
Machine-to-people interactions are very dangerous in facilities, so we are strategically mounting sensors and technology on moving pieces of equipment that help alert the operators to the presence of someone too close to them.
But now, a great threat to our safety isn't our proximity to heavy machinery, it's our closeness to one another.
No one cared about people-to-people interactions before March, right? We've been overwhelmed with the response for our product.
Their partner in Europe is already piloting the sensors to people, and now Indiana companies are signing on to try this too.
And when those sensors get too close to each other, i.e. 6 feet, we're going to alarm the wearer of that tag. It's going to give a very strong vibration and a really vibrant LED flash.
He says the key to this type of technology is precision and also security. One option for companies is just to use the devices to alert the wearers. Another, more sophisticated option allows the owner to oversee when these interactions take place based on serial numbers with software that can provide dates, times, and locations of the interactions, which could be a tool for contact tracing.
Badge number 1234 is Lauren's. Badge number 1235 is Rob's. And then they can trace accordingly. But for privacy, our system, we have no idea that Lauren's wearing that tag or Rob's wearing the other tag.
So I asked Rob if any Indiana companies are testing out this technology in the wake of this pandemic. He says there are some in the testing stages, and they'll be sharing that information very soon. So he's going to keep me updated. He can tell us that the Duomo in Italy is actually piloting the technology for museum attendees. So, Raphael, it's pretty interesting.
Cool technology. And Lauren, I was so fascinated to see how our workplace at the studio has changed. I've not been there for 7-8 weeks, so to see all the tape and the directional arrows and to see what RTV6 is doing to keep us all safe, wow. I just wanted to, I was just, wow.
We're looking forward to having you back.
Can you just say hi to my desk?
Yes, I'll go clean it off for you.
Thank you, Lauren. In the meantime, you can spend Memorial Day weekend on the sand if you'd like. The details on the reopen plan at Indiana Dunes. But first, one of our favorites here at RTV6, our Todd Clausen with your forecast. Good morning, TK.
Raphael, good morning to you. We're dealing with cloudy conditions this morning, but thankfully we are done with the rain for the most part. We just have the chance of a stray shower out there this morning in far eastern locations. Temperatures will hold pretty steady in the 50s here this morning and throughout the day after a very wet stretch of weather. As I mentioned, our rain coverage today is just a stray shower, and that's over the course of maybe the next couple hours. The afternoon hours should be completely dry. Today starts in an improving forecast heading into the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:46.
And a tour.
The time now is 6:49. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is hard to believe that Memorial Day weekend is upon us, and a popular place, Lauren, is reopening once again, but as you can imagine, with some safety restrictions.
Yeah, we're talking about Indiana Dunes National Park. It's reopening part of the beaches for Memorial Day weekend. The park will open a stretch of Porter Beach, parking lots, and restrooms on Saturday. Officials say they will be monitoring beachgoers to make sure that they are practicing social distancing. The area was closed at the beginning of May after overcrowding and unsafe sanitation during the pandemic.
And Michigan's governor has declared a state of emergency for a county where 2 dams failed. Edenville and Sanford dams breached last night after heavy rains and flash flooding. Residents in parts of Midland County in northern Michigan near Lake Huron are now being urged to evacuate. The chairman of the Midland County Board of Commissioners says he believes about 3,500 homes and 10,000 people have been affected so far. So far, no deaths or injuries have been reported. And Todd, we saw some minor flooding yesterday, but nothing as severe as what they're dealing with in Michigan.
Yeah, you know, they had a lot more in the way of heavy rainfall compared to us. Even Chicago had a lot of rainfall. In fact, it's the wettest May on record in Chicago, and here we have several days to go in this month before we get to June. We've had several inches of rain, but you have to keep in mind, on average, May is the wettest month of the year for us here in central Indiana. So a lot of people are, you know, chiming in on my social media saying, why all this rain? Well, you have to keep in mind, May is a very wet month for us. Rain chances here going forward in this forecast are going to be minimal, at least through Saturday, and then they'll kind of ramp up again on the other side of the holiday weekend. We are dealing with mostly cloudy skies this morning as you look from downtown off to the north, and these clouds are producing just a few very, very spotty showers on the far eastern portion of the state. And with the thicker clouds, it's a little bit cooler there. 48 in Richmond, 52 in Connorsville, 55 is the current temperature in Indianapolis. You notice close to 60 on the western side of the state, and that's going to be the temperature spread throughout the entire day. The further west you are, a little bit warmer and the better chance of some sunshine. I mentioned those showers. You notice they're kind of backing in here from Cincinnati, pushing into Indiana, but as they come into the Hoosier State, they're basically falling apart. So it's nothing more than a hit or miss shower today, but this is still an area of low pressure that we're contending with. The center of the low is now down near Atlanta. It started in Chicago and Minneapolis earlier in the week, and it's still pinwheeling with the counterclockwise flow, some showers and clouds in our direction, and it's also keeping us cool. Well, what's going to happen is the low finally is going to start to move off towards the east, and by the time we get to Friday and into the weekend, warmer temperatures are going to start to work their way into our forecast. So you just got to be a little bit patient, and we will eventually get there. Here's TrueCast for the day today. It's a spot shower on the eastern side of the state. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies with a hint of sunshine here and there. And with that sunshine, temperatures will be climbing up into the low to mid 60s today. Tomorrow, we're in the mid 60s as well. But then the warmth builds in. Friday, 75 degrees, partly cloudy skies into the low to mid 80s as we head into the weekend. So it's a very summer-like feel this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, I think the storms are pretty spotty in nature. They do get a little more numerous, especially late in the day on Monday and then eventually into the day on Tuesday. But I think at this point, most people will take the trade-off for a few spotty storms with temperatures that will be topping off in the low to mid 80s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic for your Wednesday. This is over to our west, I-70, a little west of Lyndhurst Drive, where everything's traveling up to speed. We do want to make you aware, though, of an upcoming closure of I-70. The eastbound lanes of I-70 between Ronald Reagan Parkway all the way to downtown at the South Split, scheduled to close on Friday for some maintenance and a major project. This is all weather permitting. The work is expected to be complete near the end of June. During the closure, the collector ramp to 465 will remain open. We're back after the break. We're working together, working for you. Welcome back. Okay, so Raphael, this is like one of those episodes of What Would You Do? A Virginia family thought it was picking up 2 bags of trash that they found in the middle of the road.
I think I'd keep it. Okay, but wait. But it wasn't the trash inside. It was the cash. You see, Emily Shantz says they threw the bags in the back of their truck and then they just drove home. But just to check, they opened the bags and found small packages, each filled not with trash, but with money. In all, Lauren, more than $1 million. But the family did not keep the money. They did the right thing. They called police. Investigators believe the cash was accidentally lost by the Postal Service while it was being taken to a bank, and they praised the Shantz family for their honesty. For those that believe in heaven, this family is going to go to heaven because I'm not sure.
You're like, I don't know.
Give it back too, I think.
I mean, what would you do? I would probably not get the bags of trash from the middle of the road. So they did a good thing there too, I guess.
Because then I'd end up on the news, and then Kara Kenny would have to investigate me, and then that would not be a good look. So I'd give the money back.
All right, let's check in with Todd.
All right, we're dealing with cloudy conditions, and I, too, would get the money back, by the way. Warmer temperatures work in by the end of the week. We're into the mid-70s by Friday, 80s starting on Saturday into the holiday weekend.